Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome back. Game number 3 between MYM SaSe and OGS's Nada. We can see right here in the bottom left position, we do have the red Protoss SaSe, and in the bottom right over here, we do have the blue Terran OGS Nada. So this, again, is game number 3 in the best of 3 series between these two players. This time, in this third matchup, we're taking a look at a game here on Tal'Darim Altar. And right now, of course, we are going to be tied up at 1-1 between these two. Last game, we did see SaSe open up with some DT harass with some proxy tech, and then he tried to follow it up with a really quick high-yield expansion. And then our buddy over here, Nada, was able to properly defend without taking too much economic damage, the DT harass early game. And then upon scouting that high yield, he pushed out with a nice Marauder heavy force and just absolutely kind of rolled over what SaSe had. And then the secondary push is what actually ended up winning Nada the game. So yes, again, here we are, game number 3. Looking forward to the matchup. We are again here on Tal'Darim Altar. Should be quite exciting. Really like this map. And yeah, that's about that. I guess that's it. There's nothing really else to talk about. Oh yeah, pretty exciting for anyone who cares. Diablo 3 beta, of course, has been announced. I'm sure if you watch my channel, you are aware of that now. It's going to be taking place Q3 of this year, so that's just a few months away, so that's pretty exciting. As of now, though, of course, we're going to be paying attention to some lovely old StarCraft, and I want to rest anybody's worries. I want to put anybody's worries to rest. Still, obviously, going to be fully covering StarCraft once the Diablo beta starts, so just going to be throwing in some Diablo videos into the mix as well. So here we go, moving on out with the scout right now. We can see SaSe going to be moving, unfortunately for him, into the incorrect position. Let's take a quick look back at his base, see where he is in terms of normalcy. Looking fairly normal over here, nothing too funny going on at all, just chrono boosting through some workers right now. Let's take a look at a scouting probe dropping a proxy pylon over here. So SaSe going to be using this proxy pylon later in the game. Clearly at this point now he still doesn't know where Nada is. But even if that's the case, no matter where he is, this proxy pylon could definitely help him at some point. If it extends to the later stages of the game, getting that middle map control is really important, and being able to do kind of sneak attacks and hitting basically 2 positions at once can be really effective, and having this proxy pylon is going to help him do that. Now we take a look, he's over here in this position, but say Nada ends up kind of expanding over here, being able to warp in over here and try to get these Elnaga towers and kind of gain this corner of the map, get that central map control like I mentioned, is going to help him out a bit. And then again, if the main army eventually of Nada is sitting in the middle, he can warp in from behind and do just some type of harassment. Either way, we can take a look over here. We can see Nada himself scouting in the wrong position, and then actually looks like he is queued up to head right on over here as well. Finally, right now, SaSe is going to be finding out exactly where Nada is, going to be moving right into his main base. We can see, though, that first Marine is out already. We do have a Marauder and Concussive Shell coming out, so Nada going to be doing some early aggression. I'm pretty certain of that. The only reason to really go straight for Concussive Shell like that is if you plan on pushing out early and you want that Concussive Shell to help you take out Zealots, to help you kite Zealots and take out Stalkers, stop them from running away, stuff like that. We can see right now proxy pylon narrowly missed there by Nada. I don't expect Nada to actually head down there. There's really no reason for her scouting SCV to move in that direction. Another proxy pylon going down here for SaSe, so SaSe definitely looking to use those warp-ins later down the road. And Probe trying to move out, but unfortunately Concussive Shell is already in. Now in seeing that Concussive Shell, if he saw that, he should be aware that a push is coming. Again, like I mentioned, the only reason for actually getting Concussive Shell that early is if you try to push. We can see right now SaSe sitting with 3 gateways, and looks like he's going to actually move out to expand right now. So going to be going 3-gate expand, and this is a little dangerous. Again, we can see 1 Marine, 2 Marauders, and an SCV. Sounds like a really bad joke, but 1 Marine, 2 Marauders, and an SCV going to be moving out right now, and they're going to be going straight into SaSe's base. Stalker needs to be careful. Concussive Shell, but just barely getting away there. Luckily, that second fire from the Marauder here didn't go off for him. So Nada going to start working down this Nexus. A little bit concerned for SaSe right now. That's definitely not what he wants to happen here. This is not a good issue. And the Stalker getting target fire, trying to engage at the same time. What do we have over here? Reaper moving across the map. So lots of harassment going down right now for Nada. Nada's doing a really good job. Going to be moving this Reaper straight into the mineral line. And how much damage is this going to do? 1 already down. Is he going to get a second? Yes, he does. 2. There are Stalkers being warped in right now, but they're not paying attention. Try to engage the Marines and Marauders over here. The Reaper ends up getting 4 kills, running away. Is he going to make it? I think he should be okay. Those Stalkers don't look like they're going to catch up before he gets the edge. Going to be very close. The Sentry is moving to engage as well, but no. Reaper does manage to get away with 4 kills. Very, very nice. You can see the Marines and Marauders took absolutely no damage. The only thing that took any damage there was that SCV. Very, very nice play there by Nada. Again, we can still see this proxy pylon over here. Reaper still hanging out around the map. Looks like he's going to be grabbing that tower over there. Now, I was almost thinking that, hey, you know, Maybe SaSe is going to move out, warp in some units with this proxy pylon for a counterattack, but in all honesty, that would be very ineffective because we do have this first bunker up and second bunker being placed here as well. Taking a look right over here inside of Nada's base, we can see Engineering Bay just finishing right now. Going to allow him to get some turrets, also work on those upgrades. Looks like he's sticking with just these 3 racks. There's a factory coming in. Stimpack just about finished over here as well. Looking inside of SaSe's base, we do see a 4th gateway coming out. Still no Robotech, so just going to be relying on those gateway units early game to defend himself. He isn't too worried about teching up. Would like to see a Robo sometime soon, though, especially once he starts to get the saturation down over here, simply because he really does need to get an observer so we can check out what Nada is doing. We can see 1 turret going down over here for Nada. Nada probably a little bit concerned with DT given the fact that he's been hit with it in the past here from SaSe. Don't want to make sure he's nice and safe against this. And this is also going to help. Again, a lot of time observer scouts end up moving straight through the natural. A lot of Protoss players just send their observer scouts straight through the natural. And you can really catch, if the Protoss player isn't paying full attention, you can catch that observer undetected. A couple shots with the missile turret plus some marine fires would be enough to take it out. Taking a look over here for SaSe, another gateway coming down, and still, wow, still no Robotech, so he is just going to be relying on this gateway army. I'm almost expecting a push given that fact. Not teching up at all leads me to believe he's going to be being a little bit aggressive here early game, and might be seeing a strong push from SaSe sometime in the not too distant future. There is the expected starport, also reactor going down on this completed factory. Going to probably be doing a hot swap, allowing him to get out those double medevacs right away. And taking a look what else he's got going on. Still just these 2 bunkers. Nice little mix here, nice spread of these units there. And what do we have going on? It looks like that push may be coming, very, very possible. Here's a little bit of a forward pylon, allowing for closer reinforcements. And again, of course, we do have this pylon right up here. First thing he's going to be doing, though, is grabbing the Xel'Naga towers, and I actually really like this. You can see the bulk of his army is back here. He's pushing forward with a small contingent of forces here. The whole point behind that is to deny that Xel'Naga tower scout and then move in with the main. But at the same time, Reaper going straight into the natural. Is he going to try to do any natural damage? He needs to be careful, though. Going to get surrounded. And there you go. So Reaper didn't end up doing anything. Now, again, really like this play here. I really like this play by SaSe, moving up, grabbing those Xel'Nagas, denying that Xel'Naga vision here from Nada's SCV, and then going to be doing a bit of harassment. Factory Scout going to be moving across the board, but I think by the time it actually gets there, this hit should be coming through for SaSe. SaSe, let's take a look at the Army tab right now. SaSe not at a distinct advantage at all, but 1 or 2 more warp-ins, and he's definitely going to be in the lead in terms of army size. Again, really liking the spread over here. We do have Stimpack finally finished. We do have that level 1 upgrade just about to finish as well. And Combat Shield coming on through. So SaSe is going to want to make sure that he kind of rallies up his forces and pushes out for a lot of damage. 1 proxy pylon going down. As soon as he gets vision of the high ground, he's going to start warping guys back here, probably sending them straight into the mineral line. This is going to be very effective. Here comes the push. Is it going to be enough, though? There are some bunkers up. Stimpack going down. Also pulling out with those SCVs to try to get some repairs. Very nice force fields, though, from SaSe. Really liking that, stopping all the repairs in the bunkers. He's not actually target firing this down at all, but he is stopping those repairs. 1 SCV managing to push in the front, though. Looks like temporarily he is pushed back. Is he going to keep up with this? Yes, he is. Just wants to wait for that Zealot meat shield, and the Zealot's going to be heading forward first. And here we go, continuing that push, continuing up that force field action. Going to drop that bunker and then continue to move in. Loving the Guardian Shield, though. Hasn't been target fired down yet. Guardian Shield still in effect. Are we seeing some more warp-ins of units? Not quite yet. And SaSe. SaSe has been denied. The attack was pushed back. The Marines and Marauders were too much. He's warping in some more Zealots, but I don't think it's going to be enough with some kiting here from these Marines and Marauders, plus those medevacs. A little bit concerned right now for SaSe. That was a very strong push. He invested a ton of resources into that, and he did not end up breaking Nada at all. Let's take a quick look at the units lost tab. We can see SaSe has lost so many resources in comparison here to what Nada has ended up losing. So that is a bit of a problem, I'd have to say. Looks like SaSe realizing that he has to break him because he's so far behind. He's going to actually try to continue up this push, warping in some more, but I am really concerned, again, with some proper micro, some good kiting here from Nada with those concussive shells and Stimpack. The SaSe is very, very Zealot heavy, and those are going to be easy to kite, especially without any of charge upgrades. We can see Chrono boosting through that warp gate cooldown, so he is definitely continuing up this push. Another gateway. SaSe is all in here. If he does not actually take out Nada in this next big push, then he has completely lost the game. Let's take a look at the income tab. Can see Nada definitely ahead in comparison to SaSe. SaSe has cut workers. Nada has definitely put himself in a really strong position in terms of worker count, 55 SCVs as opposed to just the 35 probes here of SaSe. So SaSe really needs to do some big damage here, or else he's going to be in quite a bit of trouble. Looks like Nada afraid to actually push out, going to be moving across with this SCV, doing some scouting, and look at that, he's going to catch this army here of SaSe. So now Nada is fully aware of what's going on. There is a big push coming. Now is the time to push for SaSe. SaSe, I do not know that he has enough here. Here comes the micro as expected. Those zealots should really not be doing too much damage at all. Some really nice force fields going down. Is that going to help his Stalker army? There are a lot of Marauders here though, and no, it looks like the Bio army here of Nada is just way too much for SaSe to handle. So we saw SaSe this game try to open up with a fast expansion. Unfortunately for him, at the very same time, getting concussive shells early, Nada did push out with a 1 Marine and 2 Marauder aggression and was able to actually start to work on that Expo really early on and cause a little bit of harassment. At the very same time that Marine Marauder harassment was going down at SaSe's Expo, OGS Nada ended up moving into the mineral line of SaSe with a Reaper, killing 4 probes, and that was a definitely big early game advantage for him. 1 Reaper taking out 4 workers is a decent amount, I would have to say. After dealing with that early harassment, SaSe ended up deciding to go for a 5-gate push off of 2 bases. Unfortunately for him though, even though he did some nice force field action to try to deny repairs on the frontal bunkers of Nada, he didn't end up breaking Nada, and that is a really big problem, because going for a 5-gate, for a strong 5-gate push early on and not breaking the Terran opponent is a huge issue. It sets you so far behind in tech, and that's something that is very difficult. He moved in with a second warp in of Zealots, but again, it was not enough. There were just too many Marines and Marauders, and the bunker, of course, helped Nada quite a bit as well. After that first big push failed, SaSe realized he was very far behind economically in terms of where Nada was at, and that he had to really kind of all in and push out. He dropped another gateway and tried to go for another strong push, but again, Nada just had that tech advantage with those medevacs, with those stimmed Marines and Marauders plus concussive shells, had no problem cutting around the Zealots and then just tearing through the Stalkers, and that's actually what led to Nada winning the game. So there you go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this commentary, and let me know what you guys think about those recaps. Again, this was something that Cricket ended up doing in his videos. I really liked it, and I thought we'd start to incorporate it in our videos over here as well. So yeah, there you go. As always, guys, if you like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Keep watching and keep owning.